Ever wondered why getting a loan approved takes 30 days when the actual work involved is only 2 hours? Or why a simple insurance claim bounces between 5 departments before resolution? Today, I'm revealing the invisible bottlenecks draining your service operations and the X-ray vision tool that can transform your results. After implementing what I'm about to show you in over 40 service organizations across India, I've seen processing times cut by 80% without hiring a single additional employee. If you're struggling with slow turnaround times despite hardworking teams, keep watching. This will be the most valuable 10 minutes of your week. Let's discuss a real case study. Let's call them Rapid Financial Services, based in Bangalore. This loan processing team was completely baffled by their performance issues. Their metrics looked impressive on paper. Staff utilization rates were consistently above 90%, meaning nearly everyone was busy all the time. Error rates were maintained below 2%, showing strong quality control. Individual productivity targets were being met month after month. They even had modern technology systems in place that should have streamlined everything. Yet, despite all these positive indicators, their average loan approval took a staggering 21 days, while their most successful competitor was doing it in just 5 days. Customers were growing increasingly frustrated, and the business was steadily losing market share to faster competitors. If you've ever experienced this disconnect between busy employees and slow service delivery, drop a yes in the comments. I read every comment and will share additional insights with those who engage. Now, here's the shocking revelation most consultants won't tell you. In service operations, people can be extremely busy while the actual work sits idle 95% of the time. Value. Our stream mapping for service operations reveals what traditional metrics deliberately hide. It shows how information and files really flow through your organization. Or more accurately, how they sit stationary while waiting for the next step. When we created a value stream map at this financial services company, here's the jaw-dropping truth we uncovered. New applications sat in a shared inbox for an average of 2 days before anyone even began initial processing. Think about that. 48 hours of waiting before anyone touched the application. After data entry was complete, the files then waited another 3 days before someone performed credit checks. After credit checks were finished, there was another 4-day wait before underwriting began. The total lead time. 21 days for work that took only 2 hours of actual processing time. That means 99.5% of time. Loan applications were simply sitting somewhere waiting for the next person to touch them. Can you imagine paying for something and getting only 0.5% value? That's exactly what was happening. Hit that like button if this is resonating with you, and subscribe for more insider techniques that most consultants keep to themselves. So, why was this happening? The root causes in service operations are often different from manufacturing. First, we discovered what I call the batching behavior syndrome. Team members were collecting applications to process in batches. The verification team would say, "I'll do all verifications on Wednesday afternoon." The underwriting team would say, "I review all applications on Friday." This created enormous waiting periods between steps. Second, there was priority confusion. With no visual system to distinguish between urgent and routine applications, urgent items got lost among routine ones. Everything looked the same in the electronic queue. Third, they suffered from invisible inventory. Unlike manufacturing, where you can see piles of physical inventory building up, digital files waiting in systems are completely invisible to management. Nobody could see the backlog growing. Fourth, we identified handoff blindness. Nobody knew what happened before or after their step, creating a classic throw-it-over-the-wall mentality. The data entry team had no idea how underwriting used the information, leading to incomplete files and rework. I call this the digital black hole effect, where information enters a system and seemingly disappears until it randomly emerges later. Now, let's get practical. Creating a value stream map for service operations requires some adaptations from traditional manufacturing approaches. First, you need to redefine what inventory means in a service context. In service operations, inventory isn't physical products. It's emails sitting in inboxes, files waiting in shared folders, and cases awaiting review in your workflow system. Second, you need to map both the digital and physical movement of information. Sometimes a digital file gets printed, signed, and scanned back in, creating huge delays. Third, you must identify decision points and approval loops that often create the biggest delays in service processes. Fourth, you need to measure 3 critical times: the actual processing time per file, how long someone actively works on it, the wait time between steps, how long it sits untouched, and the customer experience time, how long it feels to the customer. If you've tried process mapping before in your service organization and found it useless, comment service map below, and I'll tell you exactly how service VSM differs. Here's a wow moment most service managers miss. In typical office environments, the process to lead time ratio is often below 0.5%. That means for every 8-hour working day, only 2.4 minutes are spent on actual value-adding work per case. The rest is waiting time. Just imagine what improving that ratio could do for your capacity. When Rapid Financial Services implemented changes based on their VSM, here's what happened in just 8 weeks. Their loan processing time dropped dramatically from 21 days to only 6 days, a 71% reduction. Their application volume increased by 40% with the same staff, no additional hiring needed. Their customer satisfaction scores improved by 65%, turning complainers into promoters. And they accomplished all of this without purchasing new software or adding headcount. The solutions were counterintuitive to traditional service management thinking. First, they eliminated batching by implementing daily small batch processing. Instead of doing all verification on specific days, they processed smaller amounts throughout each day. Second, they visualized digital inventory with physical cards representing electronic files. This made the invisible visible and created awareness of backlog. Third, they limited work in process at each step, preventing overwhelming inboxes. No step could have more than a certain number of applications in process at once. Fourth, they created cross-functional teams organized around customer value streams instead of functional silos, reducing handoffs and wait time. Fifth, they standardized exception handling processes that previously consumed 40% of capacity, freeing up substantial time for regular work. Most importantly, they changed their metrics from individual productivity to flow efficiency. And that made all the difference in their performance. When implementing VSM in your service operation, watch out for these potential pitfalls. The "we're different" excuse is the first barrier you'll encounter. Every service operation believes they're too unique or complex for standardized tools. Fight this mentality by focusing on the similarities in how information flows. Next, the system limitation barrier often stops progress. Many teams believe their legacy software dictates their process. Remember, technology should enable your ideal process, not determine it. Finally, the too many variations complexity trap paralyzes many service organizations. Start with your highest volume process and perfect that flow first before tackling exceptions. Want my specialized service VSM template that I've refined across 40 plus service implementations? Comment service template below and I'll share it in the comments. Let me leave you with this final thought. Value stream mapping in service operations isn't just about eliminating waste. It's about making the invisible visible. When information sits idle in digital systems, nobody sees it, nobody feels it, but your customers certainly experience the delay. I challenge you to map just one service value stream in your organization this week. Pick your highest volume process: loan applications, insurance claims, customer onboarding, report creation, and map both the process time and the waiting time. You might be shocked to discover your process to lead time ratio. Remember, in service operations, the goal isn't to make people busier, it's to make information flow faster. Thanks for watching. If this video helped you understand why busy employees can still deliver slow service, hit that like button and subscribe for more service excellence insights. Next week, I'll be revealing the digital 5S framework that organizes information flow just like 5S organizes physical workspaces. Trust me, you don't want to miss it.